Hello everyone, my name is Stanisław Frejlak, I am professional one dan, and this is the game from the last round of the London Open tournament. Dmitro Bohacki is taking black against Kim Min-sung, and black started with very high opening. 2 star points and then again high approaches, and the next move, again 4th line, Sanren Sei. This is a famous opening, even though it is not so popular nowadays, but still possible to play, of course. It's a bit unusual to leave these joseki on the left side unplayed. It would be more common to continue, and then there is a nice move, which is a continuation from both of them. But, well, we leave it, yeah. White gets strong shape on the top, but I think not too bad. Anyway, White has such a strong shape, so now White can actually think of developing his own moyo. Maybe White could play such a move, but unfortunately there is still a weakness. Like, I don't know. White would need to protect the weakness if Black goes in. White played further, and then Black didn't want to just simply answer and give White the top side. Instead of doing so, Black plays a far pincer. So again, 4th line move, old style by Dmitro. White goes into the corner and then Black builds a big wall. So it goes like this. I think that at that moment, it might be better for White to play such a move, and if Black keeps pushing, then we can actually cut off that stone of Black. So maybe instead Black plays a knight's move, but then the shape is much thinner. Later White could use the weakness. However, maybe White wanted to play this move instead to have an access to the right side. At this moment, White plays this turn. Maybe it's a bit direct to play such a turn, because perhaps it might be better in the future to let Black block but build a group. If we play such a move, then we lose that opportunity. And where should be Black's answer? It's good to learn this shape, a jump after White's second line turn. We don't need to block. The block is not center, right? Because there is already the White stone which connects White's stones. So we don't need to block. We can play a move which leaves less weakness. And right now, I think that this exchange is not very good for White. It strengthens Black and it gives White 2 more points. But how does it matter? How does it matter if the group of White is anyway alive and not much weakness connected to it? So this would be a good exchange for Black, but Black decides to block, which is a bit greedy, because after one exchange, White plays this peep, and now Black has a little problem. If Black connects, then actually White can easily create a group. I don't know if White would do it now, but White doesn't have to. This was already a probing move. Black decided that Black wants to keep the whole area, doesn't want to let White cut. And then in the future, if White wants, White can start that fight. But Black has also another possibility, and Black chose it. Black was afraid to give White that future agi. So Black played from the other side, and if White connects, then alright, we will at least secure the influence, and still we are very strong on the outside. However, White reduced us significantly, and this is actually clearly worse than this result. It was easier to jump in the first place, and then alright, White can go a bit further, but we still managed to block quite nicely. And in that variation, well, White destroyed too much. So this is unfortunate for Black to answer like this. For now, White didn't continue. White chose this move. Very interesting choice. It's not that often seen move, but it's a viable move. And when should it be played? Well, I think that mostly when White cannot choose between that approach and this invasion. Well, there is also a possibility to approach from the other side, but maybe White doesn't like it because, first of all, Black gets a big area. Second of all, White cannot really build much on the bottom side because of Black's strength. So maybe like this, or maybe like that Black could play and then try to build even more. So white doesn't want to let black build so much, so white can consider this move, but this is actually not good because white is going into an area which is very narrow, and black will build the territory on the bottom side and white will be thin, and then also black will get something out of the attack. So this is not a good choice. But on the other hand, if we go into the corner, then black builds a wall, and that is a perfect extension from a wall. So black can dream of a very big moyo. I think it would be normal to play a 3-3 invasion, but this move has a very nice touch because it gives black a choice. And no matter what black chooses, white will be satisfied with what white gets. Because like this, white is clearly better than in this variation, right? Because white has much more space. It took away some part of black's corner. And on the other hand, if black plays from the other side, well, then white lives on a bigger scale than just with a simple invasion. So also white is satisfied. So in the end, black chose the moyo move. In general, this game, black all the time wanted to play for moyo, for a large framework. So blocks from here. And then the next move of white is not a push, it's a jump. So to this jump, black could theoretically go through and cut white. But in such situations, no matter from which side black cuts, white will capture the stone. So if black cuts from here, white captures the stone. Already white is alive in the corner. And can black even manage the outside shape? Probably not. So maybe black should cut from the other side, and then if white connects, then well, white is not yet alive in the corner. But instead of connecting, white could just capture the stone, and then it all becomes similar to 3-3 invasion and the double Hane variation, which would be also a possible sequence to play. But here, well, black finishes in Gote. After this move, black needs to answer. Similar number of points, but black needs to add a move. So it's a bit like black played one more move at S4, which would be, of course, too slow. Black doesn't want it, which means that black cannot cut from either side. Either cut is bad. So what else to do? Well, we could push, but then suddenly it's not white pushing from behind, but black. Black was happy that white was pushing from behind and black could get all these moves, and black could also choose that maybe one day black wants to play Hane. Probably not, but anyway, this is the power you have when your opponent is pushing you from behind. But now it is black pushing white from behind, and white can decide to suddenly play Hane. Or to maybe play away, I don't know. Black didn't want this, and a common thing to do after your opponent jumps, if you don't want to push from behind, is to jump yourself. Well, here the cut is not very scary for black, right? So what will white do? Maybe continue by pushing from behind. And then, well, then it's alright. If cut... Well, white will live in the corner, but it's got alive, right? Maybe white is alive. But even if white is alive, black can harm white a lot. Black can play this. If white plays here, then black kills white, and this is white's Tesuji, but this is too big of a game for black. And black can be even smarter. Black can play the peep first, then connect, and then of course white needs to add a move. I don't like that variation for white with the got alive. So yeah, probably push. Probably push, or maybe push once here and then play Kosumi. And later think of a cut. But black played a different move, a very creative one, a far jump. So it is inviting white to push and then cut black's shape. It would be a bit different fight than the one we looked at before. But white didn't want to do it. I think white maybe should push once and then before starting a fight reinforce his own shape. This is a general idea in Go, that before you start a crazy fight, you should make sure that your shape is strong. But instead, white cuts right now. And this is very brave. Black can just continue with this Hane, tiger's mouth. And then, well, who knows? it seems that white cannot really capture black, and then maybe white will die. So after this move, perhaps white will be forced to play in the corner, but then black gets so much on the outside. In the game, black was yet a bit afraid of going into this variation. So instead of doing so, black just simply connected. But this is not as powerful as the other move. Black is afraid of having this exchange because it gives white power to start a fight on the side. So in the game, white played once, extended once, and then play on the bottom. This is some compromise. Well, black got a wall, white is down to the second line, but on the other hand, there is still an agi. White managed to create an agi in black's shape, so normal result. And then the next move of black, maybe it leaves too much weakness. Later it was used by white, this move, and later there was a chance for white to maybe start a fight. So maybe instead of this move, better to play like that, or a bigger scale move, Ogema, large knights move. Anyway, black played this one, and now white already thinks, okay, black got very, very strong, both on this side and on that side. But white already managed to live in this corner, live in that corner. And now if white connects the stone, then actually black is just left with a lot of influence, but not that much cash. Not that many sure points. So white does this and then pushes. And white just thinks that what white already has, white has 4 corners, might be enough to win the game. And no need to go into any crazy fight to start an invasion. Just keep calm. The next move of white, sorry that I showed it, was a very nice spot for reducing black's area. Not easy to choose a spot here, but we know what is our goal. We want to choose a spot after playing where it won't be comfortable for black to just block the territory. For example, here maybe it is enough for black to block the territory and be happy with it. And also which is not too deep, that black's attack is not too severe. So white chose this move. And now if black tries to take points, then well, there are some points. Maybe similar amount to the one in the other variation we looked at, right? Maybe here a bit more, right? Here it is 4 times 7, 28, like 30 points taken from the influence. And here it would be 16, 25, almost 30. But it's a bit different because here white gets a very strong shape on the outside. So if black just goes for points and takes those 30 points, but white gets a strong shape on the outside, it means that black cannot really continue attacking white anywhere. And maybe in the future it will all look like this, that, and then black has 30 points here, then maybe another 10 points here, or 15, so 45, 55, maybe black has up to 60 points, and white has 15 points in this corner. This is a common shape, it's good to know, it's 15 points, then around 10 points in this corner, then a bit more, like 15 points in that corner, that's already 40. On the top also like 15 up to here, and maybe another 10, so 55, 60 plus Komi. Probably white can have more points in this game, and it wouldn't be the case if white plays like this and black gets all these points, because then white is still thin, so black can get more points thanks to attacking. But like this, it might be too easy game for white. So black might think of attacking the stone from the outside, but then white has still a lot of space and white can run to the groups on the bottom and reconnect with them. For now, black plays this probing move, good exchange, force white to secure the shape and then attack. Black chooses not to take points. Why this attack? What sense does it make? Well, isn't it the case that white will just connect and then we won't have so many points on this side? Well, maybe yes, but we need to have in mind what happens also on the other side. So for now, it seems that black is playing very direct moves. That black doesn't just let white simply connect, but black wants to enclose white. Can it work? Can such a direct move really be a net? White pushes and then attaches. So it's difficult to block white. Black finds this interesting combination to not let white connect to the bottom right corner, but white reconnects with the bottom left corner. It was very difficult to stop white. So did black just fail? Well, not necessarily, because as you can see, during that attack, black managed to create a very nice shape, which will now let black dream of a big territory on the left side. For now, black still decides that it is bigger to fight for that territory, to make sense out of that wall, because like I said it before in the previous commentaries, from the wall, usually you don't want to make points. It's not the best usage of a wall. The best usage of a wall is if you can attack a weak group and even run it into the wall and let it break there like Titanic. But right now, there was already a weak group of white, which was created by this invasion, and black managed to push it a little bit, and now this group connected to other stones of white, and there will be no weak group of white later in the game ever, because everything of white is connected to one of the 4 living corners. No more weak groups, so what sense can that influence still have? Well, we can still get quite many points if we push like this. Black could just extend and maybe this would be easy, but black played Hane and then gave white the possibility of making a good shape, and still black couldn't fight even more because there are also weaknesses in black's shape, and this is not something what black wants to happen. So black simply connects, but then maybe it was better to not give white that additional stone. Okay, then white attaches. This was an interesting moment of the game. So usually after such an attachment you go in and you connect, but well, only black gets stronger here, and maybe this is not what white wants. White looks at this shape of black and thinks that this shape can still be attacked. So instead, white chooses this move, and if now black connects, white can still attack the shape. But black will, of course, push on. And now if white goes in, it is only worse, because now there is that bad exchange, which creates an empty triangle in white's shape. So white will not play that anymore. White will still try to head towards black stones and still harm them somehow. But black is not that afraid. Instead, black tries to destroy white's shape from the other side. White fixes the shape and black gets an advantage there. Was it a good idea? I think that instead of this attachment, it might be a better idea to play something more flexible, like this move, like that move, to not strengthen black on the left side in the first place. For example, we could play like this. Okay, black managed to get territory, but I think black didn't get so strong, and instead white got very strong. Maybe black one day will need to connect the stones back. And if black starts a fight instead, then later white will not play like this, certainly. Later white will rather play a shoulder hit and reduce black's territory more. So I don't know, I don't like this fight for white, but still white gets a nice shape. This is a good tiger's mouth. And now white goes up, a very important move. If we skip it, if we forget about it, then black will get a lot of points. So white finds time for this one. Now black attacked white's shape, and white secured the shape in center, but this was also for black to secure black's shape. And actually black was happy here, because not only this shape is fixed, but also the other shape is fixed. This one. Also white's shape is fixed, but black's shape on the other side also is. And the truth is that there was a very bad edge in black's shape. White could go here, and if black tries to fight, white continues, and black can split white, but actually black doesn't have many liberties. 1, 2, 3, well, L1 will not be taken directly, but white can just play Atari from the other side. So this is actually a call. But let's say just such a move, because actually white doesn't risk much on this call. So white can just play a normal move. So maybe not that easy for white. Maybe black can just play from the outside. But even if the group dies, the fact that we could get such moves in center is already good for white. There is anyway a very bad agi. After this move, white can just let black connect and connect his stones and then run with the group to the center. If the group doesn't die, and I think it doesn't, then white successfully managed to destroy a lot of points in black's area, and as an exchange, what does black get? Black can capture 3 white stones. Another variation, black can play this Atari first, but this is worse for black, because like this white gets more liberties, and then it is clearly a call for black's life. So difficult, yes. There was a bad agi, and instead of using this, white played elsewhere, and then after this move, white secured the shape, but it also secured black's shape. This sequence also secured black's shape. Okay, the game continues, and I think that this is a crucial point. If white can play here, it's very difficult for black to manage the one stone, and even if black manages, probably it also means that white will connect everything and black will certainly have no points on the top. But instead of doing so, white attacks black's shape here and maybe aims at cutting off the whole group. For now white connected. So why does white connect? Is it really needed? Maybe if white doesn't connect, then this splitting move might be annoying. Alright, so I understand this is a steady move. Maybe that one would be a bit too hasty, because actually after white splits these groups, it's not only the problem of the group on the left. The group on the left can manage. Let's say white plays like this. The group manages. But then white also needs to connect these stones. And then let's say if white loses center, there is still a weakness. What is the weakness? Black can attach like this, play this, and then here. So I don't know if it works just out of the box, but there is a bad agi. Black could theoretically cut off white's group. So this is a steady move which makes sure that everything is connected. Well, that agi is still there, but white is already on the outside. White doesn't worry about the groups in the center anymore. Black adds a move. Well, probably black was afraid if black doesn't do it, then white splits black. So black tries to connect. And then a very interesting thing happens. Black pushes out, trying to create a weakness, and suddenly white's groups are not connected anymore. Maybe instead of playing this move, it would be simpler to play like that, but maybe then black can already take center. Not an easy choice for white. White chose this move, but then black pushes out. And what to do? Should white do it? Well, maybe yes, because after black plays this one, white still has a possibility to play on the other side, and even if black manages to somehow disconnect white stones on this side, then white connects on the other side, and most importantly, the stones of black are cut off. So this block is very powerful. I believe that black needs to add a move to not get cut, and then if white wants, white can add a move, but maybe white can also play a more active move. But in the game, white decided to be faster and now split black stones, but in fact it was not a good idea. Because black went out, and what did white gain? White gained only neutral points here, and black splitting moves have meaning, because first of all, they might help in creating some territory on the top, and second of all, that group of white once again is cut on the outside, so maybe one day it will be a big risk that black actually finds a way to disconnect something of white here. For now, white plays that move, still attacks black's group a bit, black jumps up, and then white adds a move. Maybe it was too slow, maybe it was possible to play on the top, because the moves on the top are very big. Yeah, maybe nothing works for now, unless, like, if black plays this move, then I believe white just lets black cut here. But white anyway added a move, and then black gets the move on the top first, and this is very valuable. Yes, then block, and suddenly black can count on getting many points. And we can remember that before all of this happened, it was not black getting points there, but rather white chasing black stone, maybe capturing it. So this is good news for black, all what happened here. But and then white plays this move, which is maybe a bit naive. It hopes that black connects, and then white paved himself a way to reducing black's area on the top. But black will not connect here. Black can connect there, or black can play completely elsewhere. This is what happened in the game. Black played completely elsewhere. Because black is not afraid that white starts this ko, as black captures the ko first, and actually in this ko, white risks maybe even more than black, because not only 5 stones die, but also all this area becomes black's territory. So it is like 20-30 points, I think. And if white wins the ko, then probably less than 30. Maybe white risks more, and most importantly, black takes first. So very difficult for white to start the ko. That's why black plays elsewhere, but maybe still the agi on the top side, like we can play here once and then add a move on the top side. Maybe this was bigger, because you can see what black plays Keima and then white pushed once. This is a big center move, and then plays this and reduces black's in center, and then continues reducing in center. Here white is teaching us how to play in the big endgame. Very important that first of all you should play your center moves, which would just give you points, not center moves which would strengthen the opponent too much, but if you take points and your opponent is anyway strong, then just play these moves, and then look for such moves in the center, moves with continuation. So this one, and black needs to answer with C, D, and only after we play all these our privileges, it's a good time to maybe answer to black's move. Maybe like this. For now, white managed to connect here in center, all the time center, center, center. This one also white hopes that black answers. Black gets all these moves in center, and then only then plays a move here. Or maybe white can even find time to get this one in center. It's quite much, right? This is 1, 2, 3, 4 points. And the continuation is 5 points in center. So if black doesn't answer, then it is 9 points for white. And if black answers, white gets here 4 points in center. Maybe it is the biggest, but maybe already now this move is bigger. However, after that move, already black didn't answer. Black went into the corner. It's actually center. And now black can answer. Yes. But instead, black continues with his center move. So now this is black's time to show his fighting spirit in the end game. Then all the cuts got connected in the center, so the position is less confusing. And then this move we already said it's 4 points in reverse center, but actually this move is bigger. So this is a bit incorrect by black. Like this, we secure 8 points. And if white plays first, then it will be like this, and then in the future black will get these moves in center and white will get this in center. So instead of 8 points, black has only 3. So it seems that it is a 5 points reverse center move. But anyway, it should be a bit bigger than the move on the right side. Then white plays his center move again and again. So many center moves. And then go down. Oh, that's too painful for black. Maybe after this move of white, black had time to play these center exchanges. But I don't know. Is it possible that white now goes in? I think not really. Unless white kills black. But white shouldn't be able to kill black, right? Yes, clearly black is alive. Like even white cannot go so far. All right, so black had time to play his center move, but black forgot about it. And now white found time to play this one. This is 4 points in reverse center, or maybe even a little bit more because of maybe some future weakness of these stones of black. Okay. From now on it was just an endgame, but actually white already has an advantage. There is one funny thing at the very end of the game. Actually, two things. First of all, after this move, white played another moves and then played this one. It's better to play here because like this white gets 2 points, and with this one white gets only 1, and maybe in the future gets the next one. So this is a slight mistake. But then black missed the timing, and black should do it now. Black missed the timing to play these exchanges. But why should black play these exchanges? Black didn't play them, and now, after black connects that stone, white cuts. And this starts looking a bit scary for black. If black plays like this, white doesn't need to answer. White can first play these moves, and then black doesn't add 1 move, but black will need to add, well, at least 2 moves. So this is a bit problematic. Black didn't want such a complication, so black played here. But then white got this move in center and this one. So suddenly white magically got 2 points in the very last moves of the endgame. Black destroyed that point, but alright, but white got 2 points here. Anyway, it didn't change the result of the game. Anyway, white won by a few points. Okay, so this is it about this game.